raise your hand when you're ready, and we'll bring a microphone around to you.
Yeah, Gunnar, how's spring practice been for you? Stepping up into that, number 2 role, rep increase, all that good stuff. How's spring been for you, just overall?
Yeah, it's been good. It started off really hot. I think it was the first padded practice. I didn't throw it in completion, so just going from there and trying to build. And I mean, everybody has their bad days, and I've had them, but just keep trying to build and finish it the right way.
Sound like you lost your voice. You've been screaming, hollering. What's been going on there?
Not too. It's just a little raspy. Must be like falling or something. It's awful.
Yeah, Gunnar, Carson is obviously a guy who waited a couple of years before he stepped into the starting role. Have you spoken with him just about what it's like, I guess why you wouldn't transfer and seek greater pastures elsewhere, what it's like to wait in Athens and eventually take over that role a couple of years in?
Yeah, I mean, Carson's a perfect example. He's shown resilience, and he's waited his turn, and I mean, he's worked hard, and he's proven that he's one of the best quarterbacks, and it's just a privilege to kind of take from him and just get to learn from him. It's pretty awesome.
What has he told you about, I guess, why you should stay, why it could benefit you to be here for the long run?
Yeah, I mean, heck, at Georgia you're going to win, so that's the biggest part. And you can go to a lot of different places, but there's a lot of things that Georgia has that they can't offer, so that's probably the biggest part.
When we talked to Coach Smart last week when he was talking about you, he talked about how valuable the Orange Bowl prep and also playing in that game he felt was for you. How valuable did you feel like that experience was and what you were able to do, not only in those practices, but actually in that game?
Yeah, it was awesome. Leading up to it, I got a bunch of reps, and just like this spring, I've gotten a couple 1s reps, 2s, and a bunch of 3s, and just because, but I got a bunch of reps, and I think it's valuable, and I try to cherish it and just make the most of it.
Talking about those extended reps, just how big of an opportunity do you see Saturday as, and what is it that you want to show?
Yeah, I want to show everybody that I can play. That's what I tried to do in the Orange Bowl, and I thought I did. And it's an opportunity to just go play a game. That's the way I look at it. Play with everybody.
Yeah, this spring, what have you worked on the most, and where do you think your game has improved the most?
Yeah, I've been working on just working in the pocket and trying to develop, and in the meeting room with Coach Bobo. Coach Bobo does a great job of teaching us and the way he explains stuff, and it's really helpful in trying to develop in that.
Okay, so I need to ask you about the Malachi Starks quit football podcast story. He said you almost made him quit football because you used to hit him so hard as a safety. You and Malachi had a rivalry, and what about your mindset? Do you still, as a quarterback, do you still play with that edge? And what do you remember about Malachi Starks and blowing him up in a couple games?
It might be true, but Malachi, he's a great guy. I mean, we've played against each other since I think like 7 years old whenever we started. So just going from there, and then because I never lost a game in Little League, so then we started playing. We played 2 years in high school, and he got me both years in high school, so he kind of got me back on that. So, but he's a great guy, and it's just been awesome to kind of came in the same class and everything coming in together, and just seeing how he treats people in the building, and it's just awesome. He's a great guy.
In August, Georgia pursued a transfer quarterback, between the end of last season and spring practice, and with only 3 scholarship quarterbacks. How do you take that, knowing that you're trying to show them that you can be a quarterback in the future, and that kind of thing?
Yeah, Coach Smart's always said he wants 4 quarterbacks and scholarship quarterbacks on the roster, and I think that's what it probably should be. At the University of Georgia, I mean, as a quarterback, why not? Why not would you want to come here? So, it should be a battle and competition and everything. So it's awesome.
Yeah, Gunnar, going back and watching you against Florida State, even during your time in high school as an athlete, you played the position of quarterback with a level of physicality. I'm curious, do you ever wish your non-contact jersey was taken off, and do you feel like it kind of doesn't allow you to play the full style that you might, play on Saturday?
Yeah, in practice with the big jokers that are out there, I might not be able to survive every day if I was getting hit. But heck, I try to just play ball and just do the best I can do. So.
Yeah, Gunnar. Obviously, you had a chance to throw with a bunch of your teammates at the Pro Day most recently. How was that experience for you getting to throw with the guys like Ladd and Marcus and Kendall and Dejan one last time and helping those guys out when they've got the plans for the next level?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Heck, it wasn't really. I didn't think it was like, about me. It was about them and just trying to give them the best ball possible and so they can showcase their talents. And it was just pretty cool to be able to do that for them. So it was awesome.
You talk about the big jokers that you're going up against in practice. Who's kind of stood out to you with some of the guys that are chasing you down or trying to?
Oh, heck, all the D linemen and linebackers. Heck, they can run just about as fast as I can, so it's pretty awesome. But heck, they're great guys, and it's pretty awesome.
Charlie Warner, also from Raven County, now with the Falcons, just played in the Super Bowl. Just how cool was that for your hometown?
Yeah, that's awesome. My dad, he was the defense coordinator at the high school, and he coached Charlie all through his high school, and I got to be a ball boy on the sidelines and growing up and seeing Charlie run, and it was just pretty awesome to be able to watch that. So he was always a guy I looked up to, and still do. So that's pretty awesome.
Darren, when you look at your time here, can you put your finger on a point where you felt like it started to click, where you could recognize the defenses you were seeing? Is there a point that sort of stands out to you when you think about your time here?
Yeah, heck, when you first got here, I didn't know what I didn't know. It's kind of like a lot of guys, but heck, the second year, now this year, and heck, it's clicking, and it's just kind of cool when it all comes together, and it's pretty cool.
Some time ago, we got to talk with Brett Thorson, who I know is one of your roommates. I know you had to spend Christmas with him and then got to spend some time with him. What has it been like to spend a lot of time with him, not only as your roommate, but someone that you welcomed into your house? And how often has your dad kind of bothered him about his old glory Georgia days?
Yeah, I hadn't heard any stories about what Dad said, so Brett might be lying a little bit on that one. No, but he's an awesome guy, and he's a great roommate, and heck, I got to meet his family when they came over for I think 2 months or so, or a month they stayed. But they're an awesome family. They're dairy farmers in Australia, and he comes from a great family, and he's a great guy.
Yeah, Gunnar, I believe your junior year, you and Brock Vandergriff faced off in Prince Avenue, Raven County. I'm curious what you remember from that football game. And I think you were a South Carolina commit at the time. So was there any thought that, hey, this might be something I'm competing against, in the future?
Yeah, I remember it was a great game. It was at home in Raven, and it was just cool because it was like ESPN. It was the ESPN game, and the stadium was packed, and it was a great atmosphere. And I think it's funny just because coming here, me and Brock are really good friends, so it's just pretty cool to have that. And we played against each other, so it was pretty neat.
When you look at this upcoming fall and Carson being back, just what is the mentality of sitting behind a guy, being the backup quarterback, and what is it that you want to learn with another year of being behind him?
Yeah, heck, I'm always trying to learn from anybody in the room, and Carson especially, and just trying to, God forbid if something happens, just proving to everybody that I can step up and it can click like nothing else happens. So that's probably the biggest part.
Yeah, you obviously known Mike Bobo for a long time. What is your relationship like with him, and how has that changed since now he's your quarterback's coach and offensive coordinator?
Yeah, actually growing up, I never really knew Coach Bobo until I think it was my 9th grade year. I threw for him at the high school, but hey, growing up I knew his family, his dad. He taught me how to throw a ball when I was 6 years old, and but I knew his dad more than I knew Coach Bobo. But that relationship is awesome. Just getting to be around him every day and just seeing what he does and the work he puts into it is pretty awesome.
I want to ask you about Ryan Puglisi. Obviously, this is a guy that's come in, and past couple of years you haven't had really any young quarterbacks come in. You were kind of the younger guy for the past few years. What has he done, and what have you kind of seen from him in practice so far, and what is it like to be, I guess, one of the older guys now?
Yeah, Ryan's an awesome guy. It's fun to get to know him, and heck, I was in his shoes. I remember, I think it was the first scrimmage I came to. It was the spring. It was just talking about not knowing what you don't know, and we had ran out there, the quarterbacks and specialties, and I was like, oh crap, I don't know where to go. So I followed Stetson, and he was on the 50-yard line, and I was like, hey, what are we doing? He's like, I'm getting my wrist taped. So I was like, okay, that's the wrong guy. And then I found Jackson Muschamp, and I ran to him, and he was doing something else, and I was like, oh gosh, I got to find Carson and Bruck. So I finally found them, but heck, just stuff like that, you don't know what you don't know. And but he's doing a great job, and that's just part of being your first year. Just you don't know sometimes.
Time for one more.
You talk about not knowing what you don't know. Kirby said this past week that, or in the scrimmage, first scrimmage, when you made a mistake, you knew you made a mistake and you knew what the correction was. How much more comfortable in this do you feel like you are than you were this time last year?
Yeah, I think just the more reps and everything going along with it. We just all the walkthroughs and everything we do the whole year makes me more comfortable, and heck, that all goes into just every opportunity you get and maximizing it and making the most out of it.
Thank you, Gunner.
Thanks, Gunner.